Coronation Street's Kit Green suffers a career setback next week as he's removed from Theo Silverton's murder case. Kit has spent several weeks trying to solve the mystery, aside from his mid-storyline jaunt to Wales, but has had no luck identifying Theo's killer. In upcoming scenes, Kit expresses his frustration when a shake-up at the police station leads to him being assigned other work. His colleague Lisa Swain is still on the case, though, and teams up with fellow copper McLaughlin for the latest step of the investigation. Lisa and McLaughlin focus their attentions on Maria, explains our Corrie source. They visit the hair salon to once again put pressure on her, aware that the alibi she provided for her husband Gary could be false. Gary has been the focus of the investigation for a while now, but in order to make any progress, the detectives need Maria to admit that she lied. When Maria is asked to go over her statement again, she sticks to her story that she was with Gary. Afterwards, she heads home and urges Gary to finally tell her everything about what happened on the night of Theo's murder. Fans know that Gary is protecting his ex-partner Sarah Platt, as she called him to help with the cover-up after killing Theo. It seems unlikely that Gary will break his silence now, and so it proves when Maria ultimately heads to the pub in a huff. Maria gets chatting to Kit at the Rovers, adds our insider. She admits that things between her and Gary are still at rock bottom, as she's sick of all his secrets and lies. While Maria has no idea that Gary is in cahoots with Sarah over Theo's death, is Kit any closer to figuring out why they're both acting so shifty? He's better placed than most to notice the change in his partner's behavior, so the clues are all there if he wants to put them together. Just when Kit thought he was finally getting ahead, everything begins to unravel in dramatic Coronation Street scenes that could change his future forever. A single observation from Maria sparks a chain of events that leaves Kit facing one of the biggest setbacks of his career, while long-buried secrets threaten to rise to the surface. Weatherfield has never been kind to those who believe they have everything under control, and Kit is about to learn that lesson the hard way. The week begins with Kit appearing more confident than ever. After successfully steering attention away from several uncomfortable questions in recent weeks, he believes he's managed to regain the trust of both his colleagues and the community. His calm exterior convinces almost everyone that the recent turmoil is behind him. Almost everyone. Maria has always possessed a sharp instinct when something doesn't feel right. Whether it's tension between neighbors or hidden motives lurking beneath polite smiles, she has an uncanny ability to notice details others overlook. This time proves no different. While chatting with Kit during what seems like an ordinary encounter, Maria notices a tiny inconsistency in his story. It's nothing dramatic, a passing comment about where he was on a particular evening, but something simply doesn't add up. At first, she brushes it aside. Everyone makes mistakes. But later that day, another conversation unexpectedly reminds her of Kit's earlier remark. Suddenly the timeline doesn't fit. Two different versions of the same event can't both be true. Curiosity begins to take hold. Maria quietly starts asking harmless questions around the street. Without accusing anyone, she pieces together small fragments of information from several residents. Individually, none of the details seem significant. Together, however, they paint a very different picture. Meanwhile, Kit remains blissfully unaware that suspicion is quietly building behind his back. Believing he has escaped scrutiny, he throws himself into another investigation, determined to prove himself professionally. Unfortunately for him, his confidence leads him to make a critical mistake. He dismisses a witness too quickly. He overlooks an important piece of evidence. Most importantly, he underestimates Maria. As Maria compares notes with those around her, she uncovers another surprising clue. A receipt, a phone call, and a casual conversation all point towards Kit withholding vital information. The discovery leaves her stunned. Why would Kit lie? Was he protecting someone? Or was he protecting himself? The questions become impossible to ignore. Word slowly reaches a trusted resident, who encourages Maria not to jump to conclusions. They remind her that misunderstandings happen all the time. Still, Maria cannot shake the feeling that something far bigger is hiding beneath the surface. Instead of confronting Kit immediately, she decides to gather proof. That decision changes everything. Unknown to Maria, Kit is dealing with problems of his own. Pressure from work continues to mount, while personal relationships become increasingly strained. Every attempt to keep his private life separate from his professional responsibilities only creates more complications. The stress begins to show. Friends notice he's distracted. Colleagues question his judgment. Even routine decisions suddenly become difficult. When his superior reviews a recent case, several inconsistencies emerge. Files appear incomplete, timelines don't quite match, and important procedures may not have been properly followed. Although no formal accusations are made, Kit receives a stern warning. One more mistake could have serious consequences. Instead of taking the criticism on board, Kit doubles down. Determined to prove everyone wrong, he becomes increasingly defensive whenever anyone questions his decisions. Unfortunately, that attitude only fuels growing suspicion. Meanwhile, Maria's investigation reaches an unexpected turning point when she speaks to someone who unknowingly provides the missing piece of the puzzle. A seemingly innocent memory confirms that Kit couldn't possibly have been where he claimed. It's the breakthrough Maria has been searching for. Shocked by what she's uncovered, she realizes the implications stretch far beyond a simple lie. If Kit has been dishonest about this, what else has he hidden? The revelation forces Maria into an impossible position. Should she go directly to Kit and give him a chance to explain? Should she report her concerns? Or should she keep digging in case an even darker truth is waiting to be uncovered? Elsewhere on the street, rumors begin spreading. Residents notice tense conversations abruptly ending whenever Kit approaches. People exchange uncertain glances. Even those who once supported him begin wondering whether there's more to the story than they've been told. Kit senses the atmosphere changing but can't understand why. Paranoia starts creeping in. Every conversation feels loaded with hidden meaning. Every whisper seems directed at him. His frustration boils over during a heated disagreement, where he reacts far more aggressively than expected. The outburst shocks everyone present and only strengthens the growing belief that he's hiding something important. Maria watches the confrontation from a distance. Rather than feeling satisfied, she becomes increasingly concerned. This isn't the behavior of someone with nothing to hide. Later, she arranges a private meeting with a trusted friend and reveals everything she's discovered so far. Together, they carefully examine the evidence. Nothing is definitive. Yet every clue points in the same direction. The truth is dangerously close. As Kit continues scrambling to keep control of his increasingly chaotic life, another unexpected complication arrives. Someone from his past suddenly resurfaces, carrying information that could destroy the carefully constructed version of events he's worked so hard to maintain. Their arrival couldn't come at a worse time. Already under pressure professionally, Kit now faces the possibility that personal secrets may become public knowledge. Desperation begins influencing every decision he makes. Rather than seeking help, he isolates himself. Rather than telling the truth, he creates even more complicated explanations. Each lie demands another. Each cover-up creates fresh problems. Maria, meanwhile, starts questioning whether exposing Kit will hurt innocent people as well. She knows the truth matters, but she also understands that revelations often have unintended consequences. Families could be affected. Friendships could collapse. Careers could end. Even so, she believes honesty must eventually prevail. As the week builds towards its dramatic climax, Kit finally learns that someone has been asking questions about him. Panic immediately sets in. He tries retracing his steps, wondering where everything started going wrong. Then he remembers his conversation with Maria. Could she have noticed something? The possibility sends a chill down his spine. In a desperate attempt to regain control, Kit approaches Maria with an unusually friendly attitude. He casually brings up the earlier conversation, hoping to discover what she knows without revealing his own fears. Maria remains calm. She says very little. But her carefully chosen responses tell Kit everything he needs to know. She knows far more than she's admitting. For the first time, Kit realizes he's no longer controlling the situation. The balance of power has shifted. As the episode reaches its final moments, Maria receives one last piece of information, a message that appears to confirm her suspicions beyond doubt. She stares silently at the screen. Everything suddenly makes sense. Across town, Kit unknowingly walks straight into another professional crisis as senior figures request an urgent meeting. He has no idea that both his career and reputation now hang by a thread. The closing scenes leave viewers with several explosive questions. Will Maria reveal everything she's discovered? Can Kit explain the growing list of inconsistencies before it's too late? Is there an innocent explanation behind his behavior, or has Weatherfield been deceived all along? One thing is certain, Kit's biggest setback is only just beginning. With Maria holding the clue that could expose everything, the coming episodes promise emotional confrontations, shocking revelations, and life-changing consequences that will send shockwaves through Coronation Street. As alliances crumble and hidden truths edge closer to the light, Kit faces the greatest test of his life. Whether he can recover from the mounting pressure, or whether Maria's discovery marks the beginning of his downfall, remains the question that will keep viewers glued to every unforgettable moment. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Crown ST.